Guys. I can't seem to get it together lately. And I don't know if it's probably just me, but anyway, that's neither here nor there. We're going to make an adorable Mickey Mouse inspired card. I got, a long time ago, I bought this die. Well, it's a little die set. I stuck it in this little bag so I could keep them all handy. And now I can't get them out. It's this adorable little polka dotted bow. This adorable little Mickey Mouse head. So you can either make Mickey or you can make Minnie if you do her little bow. And all I did was, each one of these holes die cuts out, so I die cut it in white, and then I put just plain old clear tape on the back in areas where it wouldn't be seen, and I put those little polka dots right back into the white where they were die cut from. Then I die cut it again in red and stacked the red on top of the white. Now, on the Mickey Mouse head, I used, I think, 3 layers of black just so they'd be thicker. And I did that on both because I wanted them to be a little bit beefier, I guess is the right, that's a terrible phrase, isn't it? But along with these 2 die cuts came die cuts that cut out these adorable little stars. So I thought, okay, now I'm a little bit inspired here. I've got to put these back in their binder, but I got to keep them in this bag until then or I will misplace them. I need to get one of those magnetic bowls. I've seen several people have them. It's just a metal bowl, and then it has a magnet in the bottom, so when you put your die cuts in there, they just hang on. It's harder to lose them. Alright, so, like I said, I did the Mickey and the Minnie, and that's where I started from, was just putting those guys together. We've had a lot going on, so, you know, it took time to piddle. And that's what I was doing when I was piddling, was die cutting Mickey Mouse heads and stars. So then what I did on this is I put a little piece of tape back there, popped the white holes back in, and I did the same with the yellow, and then I popped the yellow up on a little piece of foam and stacked them. On these 2, well, with this one, it's 3 different stars that I've just glued together, stacked and glued together. And then this one is 2. And then these I left as they were. I went ahead and put the tape on the back and put the holes back in there. I didn't want them out. I don't know why. Alright, so that's where I started from. So now it's grown. I have these oval dies, and the smallest one that I have is this size. And I thought, oh my goodness, here we go. So then I got an A2 size card base. It's 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2, so it's top fold. For the inside, I have 2 mats. One is a yellow one, and it is cut at 4 by 5 1/4. And then there's a white one that goes on top of that, and it is cut at 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. So those 2 will go on the inside. And then for the outside, I have this mat and it is 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. So that's all of those mats. And while I made the Mickey Mouse heads, and I die cut these 2 ovals, I got out a piece of red and a piece of black, and I want to kind of line those up. I want a little bit of the black at the top, and then we're going to make Mickey's little pants. Cute, right? After I glue these together, I'll cut it down to the size that I need, which will probably be 3 7/8 by 5 1/4 or 5 1/8. That's what I'm going to shoot for. And we'll see how it turns out from there, right? Now, don't necessarily need this big piece of black. So, let me cut a smaller piece of it. And then I have a stamp set that I bought on eBay sometime back. It's been so long I couldn't tell you who it was that I bought it from, but it's like a Harry Potter inspired. It has this adorable girl and this little guy who looks like Harry Potter. He's just so stinking cute. And then this cute little dog that has on a wizard hat and cape. I don't know if I'm going to do this make your own magic or make your day magical. Or I could do have a magical birthday. I'm probably going to do that one. Have a magical birthday. Alright, so that was easy enough, right? Alright. I'm just going to use my art glitter glue. I guess I could put my Gigantor what's that thing called? A ruler. Guess I could put that away. That thing is so big. But I like it because then it's harder for me to lose. I lose things right in front of my face. I can't be the only person that does that. So, yeah. I don't know if I want that much black or not. Also, side note, this black was a giant sheet of poster board that I bought at either Dollar General or Dollar Tree, and so was this yellow one. Typically they have a white core. Like this one has a white core. But I'm not worried about that. To me, it's just not that, it's not that deep. It's not that serious. Anyway, I thought, you know, you always, when people talk about Disney, they say, you know, magical, Disney magic, and it's the most magical place on earth, most wonderful place on earth. That's why I thought of the magic sentiment. What I could do with this, and I may have to cut this down if I put these over too far. Yeah, I might have to narrow it just a little bit. I don't want to, though. I think it'll be okay. Let's go ahead and glue these mats down. I don't know if I should glue these in yet on these two on the inside. I guess worst that could happen is I'd stamp something again on another white and stack it on top. I put way too much glue in these corners. What am I doing here? Drag it out a little bit. I'm one of those people that's a very empathetic person. I care about other people and their feelings and their well-being. I just care, you know. I don't wish harm to anyone or anything bad because, you know, I'm human. There are some people in this world that I just don't get along with and that just don't get along with me, and that's okay. People need to be a little more tolerant of people who are different from themselves. Just because a person has a different background doesn't mean that they're bad people. And all of the stuff that's happening in the United States with shootings, it has to stop. And I've said for a very long time that no average American has any business with assault rifles. You have no use for those, no need for those, especially military grade like AK-47s, AR-15s. I mean, that's what SWAT teams are using. No average American needs them. You know what I mean? It's not a need. And inevitably, those types of weapons make it into the wrong hands at some point. And I'm very saddened by recent events with El Paso and Dayton. My heart hurts for the people of those communities. And I don't say all that for this to be a negative. I didn't put that down straight. I see that little piece right there poking out. I didn't say any of this, you know, for it to be for me to be negative. Those of us that believe in God know that God loves all His children, not just certain ones with certain skin tones and skin colors, you know? And I personally feel like God gets more and more disappointed every day because of that type of stuff. Especially the people who are doing these things and saying it's in God's name. Shame, shame, shame. God don't want that. You know? And I've said for a long time, we're gun owners, by the way. You know, I think that it's only fair that I say that. We are gun owners. We keep guns in a very safe place. They're locked up. And the probability of somebody walking into my home and getting to them is not very high. So I feel like as gun owners, I can say that this ain't about taking away anybody's rights to guns or anything like that. It's about feeling like we can go to Walmart without a fear of being shot. You know? It just scares me for people. And it saddens me, honestly. What do you guys think about all of it? Because I do wonder, you know, how other people feel. Matters to me that I'm empathetic and I care about people and their feelings and their thoughts. I cut this down to 5 inches by, I forgot what it was across because I was talking too much. 3 3/4. What was that? That was weird. We got a tiny bit of rain this morning, which was great. We don't typically get rain in August. Now, I'm not going to pop that up either. I think this is going to be adorable. You don't have to have a whole bunch of dyes and sentiments and different things. You don't have to have all that. And you don't have to spend a whole lot of money on cardstocks and things like that. I know you can get small oval punches usually every other week at Hobby Lobby. I'm going to have to take a pause. I keep hearing something that don't sound right. I looked out the window. I don't see anybody. But it sure sounded like somebody was on my deck, and it's right outside my window, right next to me. Weird. All I would say to people is be more tolerant and more loving, because I believe that's what God wants us to do. I believe He wouldn't be okay with hate. I mean, my goodness. We're taught to love one another, you know? And it does bother me, and it does choke me up when I think about those things. And I'm okay with that. Because the day that I'm not choked up about it, or the day that I can talk about things without feeling emotional about it, to me is bad. Because then that means we've become numb. And we don't need to do that. You know? Please don't become numb. You know, I write to my Congress people about those things. It oftentimes feels like it's not doing any good, but some of those things, you know, you won't know for months and months and months if it did any good. The only way you'll know is how it makes you feel once you've finished it. Once you've completed that email or that letter or that whatever and you've sent it. That's the only thing you know with certainty. I just hope and pray that they do something. You know, I told my husband I shouldn't be able, or anybody shouldn't be able to walk into Academy Sports or Dick's Sporting Goods or any of those places and buy rifles, regardless of what caliber. Shouldn't be able to go into those places and buy 2 or 3 of them at one place and go directly to another place and buy 2 or 3 or 4 more and buy ammunition for both of those at each of those places, and then go to another place and buy 3 or 4 more. You see, because they're not being registered and they're not being tracked like handguns are. To me, that is the mistake. The mistake is, why are you not tracking these and registering these weapons the same way that you do handguns? They say it's because you can hide a handgun. Well, quite apparently, people can hide AR-47s and AR-15s. So, I'm going to double this up just because I want to. And my thing is, if you are walking down the street in the dead of summer in the United States, where, especially this year, most places are warmer than they've been ever, and you see somebody wearing a trench coat in that kind of weather, that should be a red flag. And in my opinion, police should be able to stop that person and ask that person and have a conversation with that person. Because when the skies are blue, but it's hot as Hades, people shouldn't be in a trench coat in this kind of weather. And oh my goodness, please don't tell me I screwed this up. Tell me if you agree with me on that, you know? Because a lot of people go into their homes or go into their jobs and they just don't look. You know, they avert their eyes. Because if they see it, then it affects them differently. Well, it needs to affect you differently, no matter if you're right in front of it or if it's happened to someone you know. You know what I mean? My initial plan was to put these little guys on the front, but I think I'm going to put him on the inside. Maybe like that at an angle, and then do my sentiment and leave that kind of plain on the front. I kind of like it like that. That's not like me, to like things that are simple. Well, I could have put him on an action wobble if I'd have thought about it. What about her? We'll put Minnie on the front and Mickey on the inside. I have another little Mickey Mouse die that I bought, I don't know how long ago. But it's him peeking, like he's peeking over something with his little hand. And I keep it in this little bag because I've never stuck it on a magnet sheet. I think I'm going to put Minnie on the front and then the Mickey on the inside. So, let's go ahead and glue him on the inside. The only reason I'm putting her on the front, see, I think too much. Here we go. You guys are about to get a real good visual of how I think too much. The pants here was made to look like Mickey's pants. So if I glued a Mickey on his pants, then it wouldn't make much sense to me. Now it probably would to somebody else, but it doesn't to me. So if I put him on the inside, and then I put her on the outside, then that makes more sense. I know, my brain is a dangerous place to be. So let me get some foam to pop her up. I do get interested to know how other people think and how they feel about, how they really feel about gun violence in the United States. Because, you know, I hear a lot of people say, Democrats are wanting to take away our guns. Well, that's not entirely true. Some of us just think you shouldn't have a military-grade gun, and an 18-year-old should not be able to go in and buy one of those. You know, so that's just how I feel about it anyway. That there's a time and a place for everything. Anything in the United States that warrants anyone here needing an assault rifle outside of a SWAT team or military. No average U.S. citizen. You know? And I don't say these things to upset anybody or to offend anyone. So my apologies if I have offended you. I think this certainly was not my intent. I just think there needs to be a conversation, a real and honest conversation, and we have to be willing to listen to that conversation and be an active participant in said conversation. Alright, I gotta stick this guy down, and then I have to charge my camera, and then we'll come back and finish it up. That is so cute, and that gives it just enough lift, because it's the same height as this little star is. I think I put this down crooked. Oh, no, it's not. It's not centered, but I'm alright with that. It's kind of over from underneath that Mickey head. Wipe that off so I don't get it all over my hand. Now, what did I do with that? There it is. I swear, I'd forget my head if it wasn't attached. I am terrible about that. Laying things down and then going, now where did I put that? It's awful. Let's see. Let me put this up so I don't forget it again. I don't think I got that very well cleaned. Oh yeah, I guess it is. I think this card turned out absolutely adorable. It's actually one of my favorite cards that I think I've ever made. I think it turned out adorable. You guys let me know what you think. I'll put a little bit of sparkle on this bow. There we go. I'm afraid this star is going to get bent down, and I don't think I want that to happen. So I may have to lift that off there and take the dimensional off the back of it so it doesn't get bent. Let me know what you guys think. I think it turned out so cute. Hopefully I don't have any ink on my fingers. Adorable. Let me know what y'all think. Thanks for spending a little bit of time with me. I certainly appreciate it. I hope you all have a great day and a glorious tomorrow. Bye, guys.